Hi, my name's Elton Finkivity. I'm here again with Val from Glazing AI. We've been having some fascinating conversations about AI. Our passion is the glazing sector, but of course, a lot of what we're talking about probably transfers anyway. So, hope that you can spend a bit of time with us today. We're going to be talking about whether AI replaces people or does it enhance people? What's the human bit? So if you're in HR, you definitely want to strap in and watch this one. If you're worried about your job and where AI is going to take it, then definitely watch this one. And if you haven't seen the other ones, get those too. So let's dive straight in and ask the question that most people are probably asking when it comes to this, Val, and that is, will AI take over jobs or will it just create new ones? What's your take on it?
The short answer, it will just create new ones. It will improve, enhance
Mm.
productivity, efficiency of what we have right now. Yes, some jobs will be affected much more, such as digital creation, like pictures or maybe even writing. But anyways, people will reprofile themselves maybe to provide these kind of solutions, these kinds of services. So you will be probably people will still ask you to do the same, but you will just be able to do it much faster. And in many cases, people cannot be replaceable at all, especially in glass and glazing, which is quite physical often, and you cannot avoid having people in these industries, like glass and glazing, construction, building. But
Mm.
still, in many even office or digital creation, you will still need people to work in tandem, in combination with AI, because anyways you need to be sure that everything is right, and you would like to. AI won't do it just by itself. You need to give tasks and maybe to approve them to see how they are done. And usually, if you look at previous iterations of this question, we will be replaced with machines, we will be replaced with automation, with robots. Usually, even in glass and glazing, I hear from many glass fabricators that sometimes, quite usually, the best way is not fully automated, but in combination with people. So it's
Yeah.
still people are needed.
I think that's right, and I share the same view. And I always try and relate it back to when things like this have happened before, because otherwise, you just end up with two sides. You end up with the person who fears what's about to happen, and you end up with the
Mhm.
people who are the pioneers of it. They're typically excited by it, and they can see no wrong in it. Well, both of those people are actually coming from the wrong place in my mind. They're coming from that position of either fear or excitement. And so I always look at it in terms of when the personal computer came into offices. Prior to that, we had rooms full of typists, for example, in an office,
Mhm.
you know but we still then carried on with secretaries. And I'd say that we've still got them now, even after COVID and so many people working remote. We
Mhm.
still have the role of, whether they're called a personal assistant, a secretary, whatever it is. Well, that's years after the computer came along, and it's still
Mhm.
there. Um, so all of these things, and I think that there was a word you used in our first conversation that we recorded, and that is a new tool. And when these new tools come along, actually, they just give us different possibilities. Um, I'm also, as you can see behind me with the drums, outside of what I do in the glazing sector, um, I'm into music. And now music and AI, for anybody who sort of follows that's a real controversial one. The people in the music sector are really not happy, or should I say, a lot of them are really not happy about AI. But I go back to a conversation. I was very fortunate. One of my idols when it comes to synthesizers is a guy called Jean-Michel Jarre. And I had a conversation with Jean-Michel once, very fortunate. And we were talking about analog synthesizers, which is something that I like to program. Um, and he said, but remember, Elton, when we were doing this stuff, so he's referring to the 70s. I mean, he's still going, by the way, but he was referring to that early point, oxygen equinox. We were making the future. And actually, if you go and see his concerts now, I mean, he's still playing. The music he's making is about the future. It's not about the 70s and, that analog synthesizer stuff. And it got me thinking that actually they were just using a new tool. And if you speak to someone like Jean-Michel Jarre today, actually, he's excited by what AI can do in his sector. He's not frightened by it because he's creating the future with a tool. And I see AI like that in everywhere I look, whether it is glazing or wherever it is. It is just a new tool. That's all it is. It's still going to be people driving it. We still need the human part to drive it. We're just going to, we're driving some AI instead of driving a typewriter. I'm driving a mobile phone rather than a landline. They're all just tools. And, we wouldn't send our fitters out with a hand drill. I remember my granddad had that, if you remember the sort of hand drill where you turned it around.
Yes,
I
yes, like
remember
this.
those things. Yeah. But there's no way you would send your fitter on site with one of those. Why?
Yeah.
And this is the same with AI. So I think it enhances. The reason you wouldn't do that is because you want to enhance your fitter, your installer, with the best tools you can to enhance their work. Whether that's a machine that's going to weld your frame better. Why would you ever do that? Surely we want the one we had before that didn't really look mechanical joint or whatever it is we're talking about. No, we want to enhance our products and our people in the best way possible. That to me is what AI does. And it will create new roles, because we haven't really spoken too much in these chats because we've not got into the details of how to do stuff. But prompt engineering will become a whole, there'll be so many things just tied up with prompt engineering, how we drive this AI in the best possible way. So I think it'll create new ones. So with that said, how would it work alongside, I don't know, sales teams, fitters? We've spoken about fitters, office staff, maybe people working the machines. How do you see it working alongside them? What sort of examples do you think?
Again, it depends on tasks that you have, because you can have in production, you have some kind of tasks that you would like to use AI for in offices, but still it will be combination tandem of people and AI, because you would like to control what is done. And even it's not that AI is not that reliable tool, but even when you work with your colleagues, with your employees, you still need to have like a kind of control, maybe just to see what they do. How is it done right or not? You come and see in those windows, for example, or maybe when you make a quote, you would like to be sure that it's made well by people. So still AI can help a lot, but you will need to see what it does. And anyways, as I told you, AI it currently doesn't have any will, so it just won't do itself something. You need to initiate this first step that, okay, we would like to do this. And anyways, you will interact. Even if you have AI chatbot, you need to provide information for that chatbot. Maybe you need to check if it replies well, correctly. You would like to change it a little bit. Your products probably changed, and still you will need to interact with this. And people, it's not possible to remove people completely from this equation. So anyways, I wouldn't be afraid of AI. And it's
No.
not AI who will take your jobs. It's someone with AI who will take your jobs. This is like a notion that a lot of people repeat from. I
Yeah.
hear it from time to time, that those who use AI will take your jobs. So you
I
need to.
I completely agree with that, and I think we're all responsible for considering our own futures. You know, for looking around in terms of what we're doing, and giving ourselves the skills that we will need for today, but also for tomorrow. You know, even in my short lifetime, I've seen so many industries that have closed down, basically, and it is always sad if you're part of that industry and it's just no longer required. I understand it, but ultimately it's our role to look around us and think, this is something that's declining. It's not, printing. I mean, when I first started in business, the standard pack, you had letterhead, continuation sheet, comp slip, business card.
Mhm.
I'm still on my first box of business cards for Business Pilot that I started 6 years ago. Is it now 7 years ago?
Mhm.
Because we just don't use them anymore. So printers have really seen this decline. But what else can we do? And I think that phrase with it's somebody using AI that will take the job. That's exactly right. That is exactly right. To give some examples of how I see it working alongside people, I'm always like, I see a lot of the retail end. And having been over to things like, I know you do yourself, things like Glass Build America and some of the more tech related conferences out there for glazing and construction or remodeling, as it would be. Some of the kit that the sales guys can use. Now, the sales process is a lot more formulaic than it would be probably in the UK and other areas of Europe. But where they are, the AI is literally measuring the number of words on certain parts of the sales pitch and working out performance against how they've done compared to the script. I'm thinking, wow, so you've almost got a pocket coach with you. So that sales guy knows when they go into the next meeting, don't spend so much time talking about this aspect, but do mention more about this aspect. And I just think that's, just silly things like that, which are having a genuine impact on sales conversion rates um, by using AI, and yet really simple. And we see it where you've got note takers, there's so many now, like your Fireflies and so on, where they're taking notes during a meeting. That to me is how it works alongside us. They're really simple examples that we can probably all relate to, whether we're in AI or not. So therefore, if we're going to have all of this, what skills do we think glazing businesses need in the future? And again, I know there's different types, but let's have a look at some examples. If you're a retailer, so an installation company, what sort of skills are we going to need in the future?
I think all the same skills, like all the same skills. Yes, human interaction. The recent years, a lot of soft skills are more in our focus than hard skills. It depends, of course, on position, but interaction with people, it always matters. Psychology, it always matters to understanding customer behavior. It always matters. Yes, some hard skills, they are still needed, and management skills also. But today, more and more AI skills also, just understanding what you can do with AI and embracing it, understanding that it can improve your efficiency, your productivity. So even this kind of knowledge you need to get somewhere. This is why I made my project for glazing AI, just to help my industry to see how you can use it. And I'm looking for any kind of examples how you can use it. So basically all the same skills, but just you will be, if you're open to AI, and still you need um, to be able to use them, to learn them as well, because it's also not just that easy to find it, for example, even to find the proper tool, then to train it, or maybe to adjust to your business. So yeah, learning even about AI, it's like learning about PC computer. This is skill. We all have it. Like PC today, we don't even tell about this. That I know how to use computer. But it's like using computer. Is it some special skill? Maybe not, but still you need it. It's not like math, maybe, or drafting, or some installation, glass installation. But still, you need to know how to use computer, and then you can mention like I use it as just office application, or maybe I know Photoshop or whatever. So all the same skills, but mind about AI technologies, of course, because it's our future.
I you couldn't have said it any better, because I don't think it completely changes what we're doing. It maybe changes the efficiency, and it maybe changes what's possible by each person because of that efficiency. But actually, it's really not that different to what we currently do. Learning how to operate AI, well, we've already said it's just natural language.
Yeah,
So
this
actually,
is
yeah, but there's some subtleties to it. There's better and worse ways of talking with your AI to get the results, yes, but they're not major skills. They don't completely rewrite what your job looks like. It's the output that's different, not the skills that you've got. So I don't think you could have said that any better. So I think that's great.
thank
Um,
you.
we've we've probably talked now, hopefully enough to reassure people, hey, your job's not going anywhere unless you want it to. You know what's coming down the line. If you want somebody with AI skills, or somebody using AI to take your job, then fine. But actually, you don't need to, because it's not that difficult to get on board. It's the biggest skill, maybe, actually, is an open mind. So things are going to be the same but more efficient, I think. So hope you've enjoyed sticking with us. I've certainly enjoyed it once again. I love the way Val puts stuff across. I think we both sort of talk in a very simple term and non-technical, and I definitely think that helps. So check us out on social media, of course. Any questions, any views, love to hear your thoughts for sure. Check out the other videos, and we'll be back again soon. We're going to do some more of these videos. So look forward to seeing you then. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you.